Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion and this here is Pumpkin Pie Chapstick. We're going to do our second look with the Lethal Cosmetics palette. So I'm going to tell you really quick what's on my face. And no, I am not happy with how my under eye area is looking. I used the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. Under my eyes, I used the Estee Lauder Double Wear Radiant Concealer in 4N. And I vaguely remembered not liking the Radiant one under my eyes before. So now it's confirmed. This does not look good under my eyes. The 4N Double Wear Stay in Place Concealer, however, that's perfect for this area here, and that's what I use there. I used the Rare Beauty foundation again today, and this shade is 360W, and I just used a little bit. I think I was using too much because I think the coloring actually looks really good right now. I do have one other stuff, and I will tell you what it is. The Lethal Cosmetics Solstice palette. We have on the highlighter, the blush, and the bronzer. The bronzer, I just put a little here, a little here, a little came around, a little came around, and a little and came around, and it's looking like it's not blended too well up here in this area. So that's what I did for that. And I also used the LYS bronzer because to me, when I swatched it, it looked really cool toned. It was a deep shade, but it was cool toned, and so I thought that I still don't like that, and so I thought it would be best used for me as a contour on my complexion. And so I used the same brush. I did highlight first, then blush, and then the bronzer, and then I used the same brush for this one. This is the Lethal Cosmetics number 115 brush. During the application, I pulled 3 hairs out of here, so this is already shedding, and I've only had it a few months. So I just put a little here, came down, and just like put it over where I put the Lethal one. And so this coolness that you see, or the added definition that you see, that's from this. And I also did put some here, which may be why the corners are looking like really dark. Yeah, so this, even though it says it's a bronzer, it's too cool tone for me as a bronzer. This is best served for me as a contour, so I will use it for that. L'Oreal Brow Pencil, snatched NYX retractable eyeliner on my lower waterline. We're going to prime my eyes, and then we're going to get into this look. We're going to take Orchard. This one chunks up. I don't know if you can see that, but this one, when you tap off, it's snow on my station. But it goes on. This is my first time using this row, but it goes on really nice though. But there is a lot of not necessarily kick up in the pan, and it may be the way I'm swiping it, but even just doing a light press and swipe, you see all of that? That's a lot. So then you tap off, and then that's when, you know, all the excess comes off, which is great because you rather have it tap off on your station instead of being all over your face. I just realized I didn't spray my face with my setting spray. We're actually just going to turn this brush over because I'm feeling lazy, and we're going to go into Nox, this shade here, on this side of the brush. Same deal with this one, just pressing and like a slight wipe. Ooh. And it may be, now that I'm thinking about it, how soft these brushes are. Whereas the Hourglass brushes I normally use for lid shades, that's a dense brush. And this one is not. So that may be what's happening here. I'm not sure. So I'm going to have to try these with Hourglass brushes to see. We're going to use the top of the brush and do some blend there. That brush we used was the number 210 blending brush, it says. And we're going to take this one, which is the 200 diffusing brush, and we're going to go into this shade here, which is Willow, and we're going to put that in our transition area. We're going to go in small circular motions and also windshield wiper motions, just to blend that up and down and around. This blends it up or down. This blends it side to side. We're going to go into this shade here, which is Frantic. This is going to go into the outer corner just to deepen this up. Oh, that's pretty. We're going to take a pencil brush. Oh, it actually says that, pencil brush. This is a number 220, we're going to go into this shade that we use for our transition. And again, that is Willow. And that's going to go on our lower lash line. We're going to take the brush we used for our transition shade when we applied it up here. And we're just going to buff this. We're also going to put Snatched on our lower waterline. So we're going to just run that. We're going to find the line first. And run it across. Look at my bags, y'all. Oh, wow. They're like, how y'all doing? We just hanging out. And they really are just hanging out. We're going to try one of the Melt Cosmetics gel eyeliners. And this one is Kultura, Kultura. And I'm going to use it with the Melt eyeliner brush. And so I am desperately hoping that I can get a thin line. And it's picking up a lot better on here than with those lipstick applicators. Duh, because it was a lipstick applicator. And this is actually the liner brush. Ooh. Okay. This is looking to me similar to a look I did with Lethal Cosmetics. I think it was their Velvet Dusk palette. Actually, it was the Night Flower palette. It was this one. We're going to take Lancome Sills Booster XL, which is a mascara primer. This is my first time using this one. I just opened it a few minutes ago. If you want it to be funky in a good way, just put on a couple coats of this and just leave your lashes white. I think that's a pretty cool look. Pat McGrath Dark Star Mascara. We're going to put this on top and bottom lashes. Just when I thought I got the hang of this without hitting my face, I hit my face. Wiping off some chapstick. MAC Retro Matte Lip Color. This is Caviar. It's a black one. My label says it's expired in December 2022. And I hit my... Y'all see this? Oh, and it's dry already. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm going to do my lip and then fix that and come back. Y'all, y'all know I am in my glory with a black lip. It is just something about a black lip. And I forgot to clean this off my nose. This is not going to come off, and I'm going to tell you why. It's just taking off my, what's the word? My makeup. So I'm going to take, this is the foundation. Because you only need a little bit of that. And I can't even sit the cap down because it's a ball. And we're actually going to take another lipstick applicator. And just put foundation on top of the liquid lipstick on my nose. Did that work? If not, let's pretend it did. All right, yeah, I think that worked. And of course, that fell on the floor. So this is our finished look. I'm excited about it. I'm glad that I was able to make this work because I really thought it was my shade. And it is. I was just using way too much. And so instead of doing the swipes like I did before with this, I dotted just a few dots. Dot here, and I concentrated dots down here because when I used it before, like this area was looking very pale, and I'm like, I know I put foundation there, so I did more dots here and just a few in this area because I don't think or feel like I need a lot of coverage here, and did a few dots here and around here and on my nose, and that was enough. And so I'm excited about that. This is look number 2 with my 12-pin Lethal Cosmetics palette, using the middle row and using the face palette. I'm gonna show you that again just because I really like this. It just looks really nice and it looks natural, and even when I first put it on, like it looks like really pigmented, but it blends out so well, and that's what I like about it. And so I'm not going to test it to see if I can do too much with it or go ham with it, but I do really like how it just blends out effortlessly, because initially each shade is just, well, the blush and the bronzer is like, phew, but then it's just, this is what you get. And so you will see me in a few seconds with look number 3 with the 3rd row in this palette. Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion, and this here is Cake Batter Chapstick. I'm gonna just tell you what's on my face and then let you know what happened. I do have a post on my community tab, so I'm not gonna talk about that too much. So head over there if you want to actually see what I wrote. But for right now, what is on my face, the Fenty primer and foundation, and the Elephant palette brows. Fenty MVP, and I believe this one is in dark black. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? How about you edit it while you find out? Yes, it is dark black. So for the Elephant palette, this is upside down. This I used to set under eye. This I used as a highlighter. This one I used as a blush. This one I used as a bronzer. This one I used to set my entire face. Well, as a finishing powder. So the only one in here we didn't use this time was this one. But I do like this because this palette for me is a face palette. And so I really like it for that. And you saw me put on chapstick. My lower lash line, I was going to put on NYX retractable eyeliner in silver, but it's not winding up. There's always usually a little nub. It is not winding up. So I put on the gray instead. That's what that looks like. Last bit of housekeeping. Lethal brushes, number 205. Number 205. These are the ones I initially wrote in about. And they assured me that they were not going to fall apart. They fell apart along with the number 200 last night, which was March 6th. Today is March 7th. I purchased, if you're new here, I purchased the entire set when it launched in December 2022. I washed them, I used them, and that's when I noticed the 205 was loose. But the ones I liked, I purchased single brushes, and that was in January 2023. Today is March 7th, 2023. These brushes are not a good 3 months old, and when the first one fell apart, well, initially when I wrote in that the ferrule was wiggly, they were very responsive, and then when the other one did finally fall apart, they were very responsive and they sent the replacement. This time I said I don't want replacements because I'm not convinced they're not going to fall apart. And so I did ask for credit. I'm waiting to hear back. But again, they are very responsive. And so I do feel good about that. It is a good brand and I do still love their eyeshadows. And that's why we're here, because we're going to do another look with this. Interestingly enough, or ironically enough, on Instagram, Blend Bunny did a post that they were replacing a lot of brushes. And so they went to the manufacturer and they were looking into it, and the conclusion was the adhesive was not strong enough. And so they're going to use a different adhesive going forward, from now forward, for their brushes. In the meantime, meaning they're clearing out the stock of brushes they currently have. If you purchase a brush set, you will receive 2. So if one breaks, you already have your replacement. If you purchase 2 brush sets, you will get 4. So they're sending you an extra brush set for each one that you order. And yes, I did order a brush set. And so I will receive 2. And so I know I mentioned in another video that I voice when things break down or go wrong because it's something that the company can learn by. And so my hope is, just like Blend Bunny learned, they're making new brushes, they're replacing the ones, because people were speaking up about it. And even with Nomad, their Verona palette, people were saying, you know, some of the shimmers were hard pressed. And so they said they'll replace, you know, those shadows. And so if something is not the way you think it should be, you pay for something that breaks down, it's hard to work with or whatever, message the brand. And I know a lot of people don't want to do that, but how will they learn and grow? You know what I'm saying? And so I'm hoping that other people are speaking up if their lethal brushes are falling apart. Their blush brush, every time I use it, I'm pulling at least 3 fibers out of it. So that one, the ferrule is not loose, but the fibers are not secure. So I'm hoping they take this as a learning opportunity. And for any brand in general, if something isn't right, just reach out to the brand. This is a long ass PSA. I didn't intend on saying all of this. So, but that's where we are with that. Also, I did spray my face with the Milk Hydro Grip Set and Refresh Spray. So I'm going to prime my lids and then we're going to get into the look. This is a dual chrome because it's looking, when I look at it this way, it looks kind of greenish. This shade right here, we're going to take that one, and this is Proxima Proxima. I want to say about the lethal shadows, if you have a large, I'm trying to see if I can get it to look how I see it, because I'm not seeing pink when I look like this. I'm seeing like a greenish something or other, but it is showing up pink on the lid. If you have a large single eyeshadow collection and you're really into the shimmer and the shine, you may or may not like Lethal's metallics. I just like a little bit of shine, and I like the dark based dual chromes and multi-chromes. But if you're into, how do you say it, Cleona, if you're into Cleona or other brands that has single shadows, dual chromes and multi-chromes, you may not like Lethals. And I'm saying that because when I see comparisons with Lethal dual chrome and multi-chromes next to the other ones they are more pigmented. So I'm saying if you like the high shine and you want shifts that are more noticeable, think back to when I swatched this one. I really didn't see the shifts that it said that it had. I mean, it was a struggle to see the shifts. And I do believe they would show up over a black base, but you don't want to have to, well, you may not want to have to use a black base just to get the shifts to show up. Now down here, I am seeing some different colors. I am seeing some turquoise. Like right now, I see pink up here and I see turquoise down here, like a greenish down here. And I am seeing a hint of gray. But I just wanted to throw that in there because we're going to flip the brush over and go into this shade, which is Cascade. I have been seeing some videos of, you know, people really not liking Lethal shadows or saying, you know, the dual chrome aspect, the multi-chrome aspect, the shifts aren't really showing up and, you know, whatnot. I was going to put this in the transition area. Guess we're going to put the purple there. I have no idea what I'm doing. So I just wanted to just be upfront about that because I know quite a few of you who watch my videos, you have put Lethal on your try list for this year based on, you know, the looks that I've been doing and the swatches I've done. So I want to just let you know, just keep in mind, if you really like that Scene from Space shine, if you want light-based dual chromes or multi-chromes that show up easily and in any kind of light, which you do need light to bend off of it for the shifts to show up, but if you're wanting more than what you've seen me do in swatches for the dual chrome and multi-chromes, then you may or may not be disappointed. I like these. Like, this is my speed, this is my style, this is my vibe, because I do prefer the dark-based, multi-chromes and dual chromes. And so it wouldn't bother me, it doesn't bother me that this shift is not very prominent because I prefer a darker color in the first place. But so it just depends on your aesthetic, what you're looking for and what you want. And yes, I wanted to put that out there because there are some people who have extensive single shadow, multi-chrome, dual chrome, metallic collections, and thinking about that, I'm like, they might not really like these. We're going to go ahead and take this one. I don't think this is going to look right. This is Night Call, and we're going to go straight in. I should just do outer corner first just to see what it looks like, but I do want to put this in the transition area. I like how that deepens up. I like how some of the Lethal darker shades, even though that's not like super dark, in person it looks kind of dark though, but I like how it deepens, but you don't lose all of the shade underneath of it. You know what I mean? So we're going to just gently troll. I think I should have used a different brush to do this part. This is an easy monochromatic look, just like this was an easy monochromatic look. We're going to go into this shade here, which is Pallas, P-A-L-L-A-S. Do I want to take Midnight Snack for upper lash line? Or do I want to take OK Boomer? Midnight Snack is from MAC, it's a fluid line. Or do I want to take OK Boomer from Milk Cosmetics? I'm thinking this one is very bright, but I'm thinking the other one because I think it'll tie in with this color underneath. So let's do that and we will see. Yeah, we're going to do that. So we're going to swirl the brush. This is an Inglot brush, which is frayed, so I need to get rid of it. And I don't think it'll be too long. I am really liking the Melt Gel Liner brush with the Melt Gel Liners. And so I do want to get another couple of those. But I am going to wait for a sale because I purchased it when they were having their 50% off sale. And I think it brought it down to $11, I think. And so knowing that, I don't want to pay $20-something for that same exact brush. Part of me wants to put OK Boomer on top because this is shimmery. Does anybody use shimmer eyeliners on their upper lash line? That's a question. Because I don't think I've seen people do that unless they were just doing like graphic liner. Like I don't see it for just like everyday typical looks. And when I say everyday, I do mean just typical looks. Because to me a look is a look and I don't do daytime or nighttime. But I kind of do want to take OK Boomer. This is where we're getting into Team Too Much. Where is my Melt Cosmetics brush? And I did wash it after I used it, and it does look like it frayed, but I do like this, and part of me is thinking I'm going to mess up this look, and it does pick it up very easily. Oh gosh, I'm hoping I don't mess up. This brush is great for this, I say right now, and then as I continue on, I'll probably mess up the look. This does allow me to get a thin line. And even though it looks like it was kind of fraying already, when you put the liner on it, it brings the bristles together. I like this. I definitely want more of these brushes. When I used the Morphe brush that was shaped like this one to do the liner, I could not get a thick line because it was challenging to pick it up on a brush. But this one, what side do you like better? With the melt added, without the melt liner added? That's another question. I do kind of like that this is shiny, but I like this one as well. So let me know your thoughts. Thank you for being here. And I know I keep saying that throughout my videos, but I really do appreciate you being here because you can be watching anybody's video. You can be watching Netflix. I mean, you don't even have to be on YouTube. And I do really appreciate you being here while I am just playing around with makeup. I will continue to purchase Lethal's shadows. If they come out with another face palette for a tan or medium tan skin, I may or may not get that one, but I will definitely continue supporting that brand. I am liking this, and that was really easy. And my eyes are burning. When I used this before, it didn't. And I do really think my eyes are still just sensitive from the other day. Because even today, I was like, I don't know if I'm still going to do light mascara from a subscription box. I was thinking, I don't know. We're not going to use that. I didn't know if I was going to do a look today because I did really feel like my eyes still needed to rest more. This is Miss Merlot from Fenty. And this is the color of that. I don't know if it's going to show up. I think it may, like if in person, I think it would show up, especially against that silver eyeliner on our upper lash line. Things don't always translate in video, but I do think it would show up in person. And actually it does show up in person because whenever I use this one on Ivy League, people are like, what color mascara is that? Like, people do notice it. And even if I think it's not noticeable, they always, every time I use a colored mascara, someone asks me what color it is. And that's why I'm excited I purchased the Dior one, the blue one. I didn't want to get the Pat McGrath ones because one, I don't like the games that her team is playing with products and repackaging and people's money and all that. But also because the colors were like so stark. Like this is, it's not that noticeable through video, but in person people will be like, oh, what color mascara is that? That's not black. But it was just like the turquoise blue and then like the bright orange or whatever, bright pink, whatever it was. I was just like, that's just a little too much even for me. So that's why I didn't get those. I do think they would be fun for just like a particular look or a certain party theme. But just in general, I was looking like that because as I was powdering down my face with the finishing powder, which means everything else was done, I was like, did I put foundation here and around my chin area? And I really don't think I did. So I'm kind of like tripping because I really don't think there's foundation right here. But the Fenty foundation, it evens out other stuff. So I do not have foundation in this area. Isn't that crazy? So we're going to do caviar. We're going to do a black lip. Should I do something different? Should I do a purple? We're going to do a black lip because that's what I pulled and that's what I want to do. So that is what we're going to do when I stop fiddling around, as the old folk would say. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use Ghostin', the black one. Because that red one, it was no good. It was horrible. So I'm going to see if this one has changed or turned. And that was my first time using that red one. This is only, I think, my third time using this one. I just realized what it is. If you don't apply it evenly, it's not going to dry evenly. Like all of my other liquid lipsticks, even if, like how you can see it's still shiny right here, you can tell where it dried so far and where it didn't. And that's what makes it look weird. All of my other liquid lipsticks, you can go back and reapply in certain places. It'll still just look the same, but this does not. Like once it dries, it dries. And if you add more, it just looks weird. This might be team too much. We're going to take this shade here that we put on our lower lash line. And again, this is Palace. And we're going to tap that. It added a little something, but not a lot. We're going to take the Ghostin' black lip liner, if I can find it. I'm not edit out if I just found it. And we're going to put this on and cover up that. So I don't like what that did. You see how you can now see the lines on my lips? Any other liquid lipstick, when I put a shadow on top, even a shimmer shadow, it does not do that. So this is this look. Again, thank you, because I know I dabbled a lot. This is the bottom row of this palette. First half of the lid, second half of the lid, outer corner, transition area, this on lower lash line, and on top of a black lip. And so this is what, yeah, I got black on my finger. So let me hide it. So this is what we did today. Thank you for being here. We're going to come back and do other things with this palette. It'll be in a completely different video, and also with the other lethal palettes. And as of right now, I don't have any eyeshadow palettes that I have not used yet. I'm looking to make sure, and I am sure. So all of my palettes have been used, every shade in all of my palettes have been used. And I feel good about that, because that is always my goal, is to use every shadow in a palette so I can have a well-rounded opinion of the palette. And that'll be it. So thanks for being here. Let me know what you think about with just the Melt OK Boomer over the MAC, or just the MAC one by itself, the upper lash line color. But I kind of dig it though. Let me know your thoughts below. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. As always, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. You will see me soon.